Everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Hope you're doing good, hope you're doing well. All the World Cup qualifying build-up, it starts right here, right now. We're heading into March. These fixtures are around 3 weeks away. There's not long to go, so I hope you're all doing good. As I say, hope you're all doing well. And the first thing to say and do is to wish everyone a very happy Ramadan. So Ramadan Mubarak. I hope everyone has a good Ramadan, inshallah. May everyone's fasts and du'as be accepted. So, have a good month. Certainly on the football side, we're going to be having a good month too as well, with World Cup qualifying football returning in March. Can you believe it's going to be nearly 3 years to the day when Algeria played Cameroon? That was March 2022. It's now March 2025. Can you believe it's been 3 years since those playoffs in Douala and Blida? It's quite extraordinary. But here we are. And we've got to say we are still in a positive position to make it to the next competition, of course, 2026. That's going to be 12 years without a World Cup qualification for Algeria. So going to be really interesting to see how these next two games pan out. We're going to pass the halfway mark and then obviously 2 games in September and the final 2 in October to conclude the World Cup qualifying campaign. Now this video is looking at the referee appointments. It's always a big talking point, especially in Africa, just how big of an impact referees have on the games. We now know the 2 officials that will be doing the games. So as we know, Botswana and Algeria is unfortunately an early kickoff, so the players will be fasting. But for what I'm seeing, it looks like the referees will be fasting as well. Because you see the Tanzanian official, Ahmed Arajiga, is going to be taking charge of the game. If his name's Ahmed, I mean, he's probably Muslim, right? Which means he's probably fasting. I don't want to speculate, but you know what I mean. Now, hopefully they're still going to get to the right decisions, especially because the game's on a Friday, we hope. But that's interesting to see. So referees and officials fasting that game as well, perhaps. This is an official we don't know too much about. I remember the Cameroon games when it was Bondo and Gassama. You know, these were big names that had done big African games before. Gassama did the Algeria-Cameroon when he did Algeria in the AFCON 2019 semi-final. We know all about these guys. Sometimes you see these refs and you kind of know them from an African game. You know they're good, you know they're strong. Arajiga from Tanzania, I don't really know too much about him. I guess hopefully he's going to have a good game. There's no VAR in these games, so it's going to be down to his decision, and his decision will be final. Look, obviously the Gassama appointment was controversial. I think Tanzania, East Africa, it's not near Botswana. I don't want to say it's their mates or anything. I think it's a neutral appointment. Obviously you can't have a North African doing the game because Algeria are playing. But yeah, I'd say no VAR. I mean, in the Cameroon game, we had VAR and it still didn't help us. So, you know, I don't think VAR in Africa is as strong as people make out. But I think this is a good official, learning his trade, done a couple of qualifiers before, still learning. So, hopefully you're going to get the big calls right. That's what we want to see, consistency and getting the big decisions correct. And then in the other game, the home game. Now, at home, we should be okay. You'd think we'd be okay with the fans. The stadium in Tizi Ouzou will be packed out on March 25th. Everyone's going to have eaten by then. Everyone's going to have been to the mosque. Obviously, Petkovic probably won't be fasting, so no excuses, Vlad. You've got to have all the ideas, son, because you are having a breakfast and a lunch and a dinner. So, Vladimir Petkovic, I want to see all your ideas implemented, whether it's your 5-back or your 4-back. It's got to be all sorted. This official for Algeria and Mozambique is from Burundi. His name is Pacific. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the surname because I don't want to disrespect it. But again, an official from Burundi, that's a long name. I mean, when they do the graphic before kickoff, that's going to take up, I don't know if it's going to fit on the screen. But again, another guy I've never heard of. Burundi, don't really have any history of Algeria. Played with Algeria in an pre-AFCON friendly once. Seems relatively friendly people. They've not got ties to Mozambique either, so again, a neutral appointment. Still no VAR in that home game. But yeah, I think that, again, I wouldn't see these as 2 refereeing appointments. That would be a bad thing for Algeria. Especially when you look at, since Petkovic has took charge, he's been awarded so many penalties. I think 3 penalties already, Petkovic. At least 3 pens he's been awarded. I mean, Ben Rama scored 1. Ben Sabani scored 1 in AFCON qualifying. There's other ones I can't remember as well. So when Belmadi was in charge, Algeria would have stonewall penalty decisions in games with VAR. You look back to Bunjah and Slimani at the last AFCON in Ivory Coast when there were some stonewall pen decisions. They were very quick to use the VAR against us. I mean, 2 of the goals we conceded in the AFCON were penalties given by VAR. The Angola one and the Burkina Faso one. So they were very quick to give them against us. But since, I don't know why, but since Petkovic has taken charge, which is probably a good thing, we've been getting penalties all the time, even soft ones. And I've got to say, we've been very fortunate. I still think when we played Uganda away and we were 1-0 down, we were very fortunate not to have given away a penalty that could have potentially made it 2-0. So overall, these are the officials, the appointments, but ultimately it's going to come down to the football on the pitch. So obviously it's Ramadan now, and throughout the month we're going to be looking ahead to the World Cup qualifying games. If there's anything you want to see specifically from me, from anyone else, let me know in the comments down below. Of course, there's always stories developing. Congo could be kicked out, which means Morocco's group could be 4 teams, which means Morocco could actually qualify for the World Cup this month if there's only 4 teams, if Congo are kicked out. We're seeing a lot of games happening in neutral venues. We're seeing, I think Mali are going to be playing in Morocco. I think Comoros are going to be playing in Morocco. I think Central African Republic going to be playing in Morocco. Ethiopia, Egypt. Ethiopia have to play home games in Morocco. And I think even Morocco are playing 2 home games in Morocco, even though one's away to Tanzania. It's very confusing. But obviously when it comes to playing Botswana away, we have to fly all the way to Botswana, which I don't understand. I've said it time and time again. CAF does stand for causing Algeria's failure. So the fact that we are one of the only few nations that have to go to the stadium away, because obviously suddenly Botswana Stadium, even though it's got no lighting, that's why they can't play in the evening, is deemed fine, I think is absolutely ridiculous. So listen, we've got an uphill battle. We're not just facing battles on the pitch, Algeria facing battles off the pitch. And it's always going to be like that, unfortunately, if we don't have big power in the CAF, power in the FIFA to implement things like that. But anyway, this was about the refereeing appointments. Let me know your thoughts on the upcoming games, and yeah, hopefully lots of build up to come, inshallah, surrounding these fixtures. So let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.